All right. So we're going to put the padding on first, cotton roll. Now, I don't know why we have this in here. This is web roll. We don't put that on as padding. This is going to emaciate the skin, probably give you blisters and ulcers. So, and this will work, it's form fitting for you. So you can tear it, you can do whatever you want to it. But, so we're just gonna wrap around the fingers, around the MCP, excuse me. I like to get a good wrap initially, so you have a base, and then you start trying to form fit as much as possible around the hand and the wrist. So you see I ripped it here, ripped it there. You want as few ruffles touching the skin as possible. Because once that splint goes on, it's better, it's more important for casting, but once it goes on, if you have a ruffle, that's a spot that can cause irritation. So I am putting some here. Now, I guess we should go over volar and ulnar gutters at some point, but you're leaving the thumb free because typically thumb movement's not going to affect the distal radius, right? If they had a scaphoid fracture, the doc or whoever should tell you that, and that you will include the thumb. Does that make sense? Okay. So there's that. And you also have to go up above the elbow. It says bulging bicep. Yeah, I like to get a good few wraps in as a base. And then start. Ideally, you're not going to have this super long one. We have, I think the first one's a 2-inch, we got 3-inch, 4-inch, and this is 6-inch. Usually the 6-inch I use for
legs.
Yeah, legs. Another comment. All right. So you don't want to bulk up in the antecubital space because that will be annoying for them. I know in the ER we don't always care about having the most comfortable stuff. I don't know if I'm supposed to say it.
It's okay. I'll have James do some editing.
Do we have any other? And so this is what I'm talking about padding wise. So for the elbow specifically, we're gonna make sure none of this gets super, so I'm just gonna super irritate it. I'm just gonna put a bunch of padding there and it'll stick to itself. You just kind of layer it on. Could somebody turn on the, oh, it's a step, never mind. The water.
I will hit the step for you.
Thanks. Okay, so now I have the padding on. Obviously, if somebody broke their wrist or their forearm, they're not going to hold it as well as this guy is here. So next comes this, and you want to make sure before you do any of this, you have your rolls. When you do the rolls, especially if you have a thumb, I like to give it a little bit.
So is there not like a sleeve that you put on before you do that part?
I don't.
You don't?
I mean, you can. That's typically for casting.
Oh, okay.
So.
And you're just splinting it until you get to the cast and putting something on
Yeah,
it?
so a cast, that's a good question. A cast is hard all the way around, a splint isn't. So most of our fractures are acute and they swell. And if you put a hard cast all the way around, it's gonna be super painful when it swells. Or the swelling might go down and you're not actually stabilized anymore.
You got a very high risk for compartment syndrome trying to put the a full cast on in the immediate course of the injury.
All right, so this stuff, excuse me, sorry. We'll move these phones, it's gonna get wet around here. So you want to completely soak these. The warmer the water, the better, because it means it'll set faster. So I get it completely soaked, all sides. Just squeeze it in a little bit, and then you want to get as much of this out as possible. So I'll start rolling like this, all out without anything first. And then you can use a towel. This is the easiest way, and you just roll it up in a towel. Just to get as much of this fluid out as possible. Okay. And now you start putting it on. So I always go the volar surface first. You want to get the MCPs, but not get the thumb. You want to come back here. See, I measured too far, but it's going to be okay if it's set like this. And hopefully you have somebody kind of helping you. So that's not going to be helping me if it hurts.
Ow.
So then, can somebody hold this right here? Just like that.
Yeah.
Perfect. So then, these things always come like this, right? I unroll it, and you want to set the Velcro backwards, kind of, so you can hit the Velcro with it, and it sticks on itself. And then you just start wrapping. Thank you. You should be good now. Thanks. Start wrapping. You want to make sure all of this is covered. I'm not going to use, this isn't going to cover everything, but I'm not going to open another one. I might. Okay. So I'd probably use another one just to make sure it's all set. But with sugar tongs, you want them at 90 degrees every time. So on, especially forearms and wrists. And I like to tuck the ends of the ace wrap in. It makes it look nicer. And see these little bits, or these bits here that are part of the fiberglass, you know what I'm talking about?
They scrape.
They scrape. So anyways, there's that one. Any questions?